North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has issued a rare and direct warning to United States President Donald Trump, explicitly stating that North Korea views the situation in Venezuela not as a matter of promoting democracy, but as an aggressive pursuit of oil resources and geopolitical power by the United States. This statement marks a significant intervention by Pyongyang into Latin American affairs, signaling an alignment of views with nations that are critical of American foreign policy and perceive Washington's action in the region as driven by self-interest rather than genuine concern for democratic principles. Kim's remarks underscores a broader narrative, frequently echoed by countries opposed to U.S. hegemony, which posits that humanitarian or democratic justifications for interventions are often pretexts for securing strategic resources or expanding influences. The North Korean leader's direct address to President Trump highlights a willingness to challenge U.S. foreign policy pronouncements on a global stage, further complicating the already intricate web of international relations and alliance. Pyongyang's stance on Venezuela is consistent with its long-standing anti-imperialist rhetoric, which often casts the United States as a primary antagonist seeking to destabilize sovereign nations for its own benefit. By framing the Venezuelan crisis as a struggle over oil and power, Kim Jong Un attempts to delegitimize any U.S. claims of supporting democracy in the region, portraying them instead as cynical maneuvers. This narrative resonates with other nations that have historically been targets of U.S. sanctions or interventions, allowing North Korea to position itself as a defender of national sovereignty against perceived Western meddling. Such statements serve to bolster North Korea's image among like-minded states and provide a unified front against what they describe as Washington's unilateral approach to international relations. The explicit nature of the warning to President Trump also suggests a calculated move to exert influence beyond the Korean peninsula, projecting North Korea's voice into a global debate on international law and state sovereignty. Meanwhile, a historic meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has captured significant international attention, signaling a deepening alignment among these three powerful nations. This trilateral summit, unprecedented in its scope and implications, is widely seen as a direct challenge to the existing U.S.-led global order and a concerted effort to establish a more multipolar world. Coming together of these leaders representing two nuclear powers and a third state with significant military capabilities and a history of challenging Western norms indicates a shared strategic objective to counter American influence and reshape international power dynamics. The symbolism of such a meeting, bringing together nations that have frequently been at odds with Western policy, suggests a deliberate move to forge a more robust and coordinated front against perceived Western pressure and interventions. The convergence of these leaders in a high-profile summit carries immense geopolitical weight. For Russia, facing ongoing Western sanctions and international isolations over the conflict in Ukraine, the meeting offers an opportunity to demonstrate that it is not alone on the world stage. It allows Moscow to showcase strong alliance with other significant powers, reinforcing its narrative of resilience against Western pressure. For China, the summit provides a platform to further its vision of a multipolar world, where its economic and political influence is fully recognized and where it can work with partners to push back against U.S. efforts to contain its rise. Beijing views such alliance as crucial for safeguarding its national interests and promoting a global governance system that is less dominated by Western norms and institutions. For North Korea, the meeting is a significant diplomatic coup, elevating Kim Jong Un's international stature and providing a powerful message of solidarity from two of the world's most influential nations. It offers Pyongyang an opportunity to break out of its diplomatic isolation and secure high-level support for its policies, potentially including economic and military cooperation. Such an endorsement from Russia and China can significantly strengthen North Korea's bargaining position in any future negotiations with the United States or its allies, suggesting that Pyongyang is not entirely alone in confronting Western pressures. The summit also allows North Korea to underscore its strategic importance in the regional security landscape, and its role as a key player in the broader geopolitical struggle. One of the primary reasons this historic meeting matters is its potential to solidify a new axis of power that could fundamentally alter the balance of forces in various regions, particularly in East Asia and Eastern Europe. The leaders likely discuss enhanced cooperation in areas such as military technology, economic development, and strategic coordination. For instance, Russia could seek to deepen its military ties with North Korea, potentially including the transfer of advanced military technology in exchange for North Korean armament or other forms of support. China, while often more cautious in its public support for North Korea, would likely use the summit to reinforce economic ties and ensure stability on its border, while also coordinating diplomatic strategies that align with its broader geopolitical objectives. This type of coordinated approach could present a formidable challenge to existing security alliances, such as those between the U.S. and its partner in the Indo-Pacific. Furthermore, the summit likely addressed strategies for circumventing Western sanctions and establishing alternative financial and trade mechanisms. With Russia facing extensive sanctions and North Korea under numerous international restrictions, the three nations have a strong incentive to develop new ways of conducting business that do not rely on the US dollar or Western-dominated financial institution. Discussions could have included the development of local currency trading system, alternative payment network, and expanded bilateral trade agreement that reduce reliance on global supply chains controlled by Western powers. Such initiatives would aim to diminish the effectiveness of Western economic pressure and create a more resilient economic bloc among the participating nations. Trilateral meeting also sent a powerful message to the international community regarding the limitations of Western influence and the emergence of alternative global leadership. By visibly aligning themselves, Putin Xi and Kim Jong Un are signaling that the era of unchallenged U.S. global dominance is waning and that other powers are prepared to assert their interests and shape the international agenda. This collective assertion of sovereignty and independence from Western directives could inspire other nations to reconsider their own alignments and potentially lead to a further fragmentation of global alliance. The summit thus acts as a beacon for countries seeking to reduce their reliance on the West and embrace a more diversified set of international partners. The implications for regional security in Northeast Asia are particularly profound. A strengthened North Korea, backed by Russia and China, could become even more emboldened in its pursuit of nuclear and missile programs, potentially escalating tensions with South Korea, Japan, and the United States. The increased diplomatic and potentially military support from Moscow and Beijing could provide Pyongyang with greater leverage and a sense of impunity in its interactions with its adversary. This could lead to a more volatile security environment where the risk of miscalculation and conflicts are heightened, further complicating efforts to achieve denuclearization and long-term stability in the region. Finally, the meeting serves as a stark reminder of the enduring divisions in global politics and the ongoing competition between different visions for the future world order. The U.S. and its allies advocate for a rule-based international system founded on democratic values and multilateral cooperation, while Russia, China, and North Korea champion a world where state sovereignty is paramount and national interests are prioritized above all else. This fundamental ideological divergence means that the alignment between Putin Xi and Kim Jong Un is not merely a tactical maneuver, but a reflection of a deeper long-term strategic recalibration aimed at fundamentally altering the global geopolitical landscape. The outcome of this summit will likely reverberate for years to come, shaping international relations and challenging established norms of global governance. That's all for me for today. If you like the video, presentation, and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build this show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.